विविक्तसेवी लघ्वाशी यतवाक्कायमानसः ध्यानयोगपरो नित्यं वैराग्यं समुपाश्रितः.
The next 5 qualities are given here. Vivikta Sevi, seeking solitude. Laghvashi, eating only a little. Yatavakkaya manasaha, controlling speech, body and mind. Always engaged in the yoga of meditation, taking refuge in dispassion. So, the 5 practices that he's talking about are: number 1, seeking solitude does not mean that you are intolerant of people. You're very comfortable with people, you enjoy people's company, but you are not afraid of being alone. There's a world of difference between the two. Take a look at us. We are really afraid of being with ourselves. And technology has helped us to achieve running away from ourselves. So earlier, when you traveled from one place to another by car or train or plane or whatever it is, you were forced to be with yourself. Now, you're connected. So anywhere you go in India, from a panwala to a hadgadiwala to the chairman of companies, everyone is SMSing furiously, everyone is calling. And sometimes you wonder, what do they have to speak so much? What did we do when we didn't have cell phones? Why this is disastrous is that you need to be connected with yourself. You need to find the power of solitude, just being with yourself, to reflect. First of all, just to be in silence. And that is one of the most important things. So here is a person who is, now what you need to understand is, why is it that your mind goes out? Because of desires. So as you bring your desires down, you're content, your mind remains with you. That is the default setting of the mind, it remains with you. Only when it needs to, you send it out into the world, accomplish jobs, come back to yourself. Now here we've lost the mind is all over the place. It's never with us. So you must seek solitude. Seek solitude is spend some time with yourself. Doing what? You can't just sit there and daydream. So what we say is, spend time with yourself, investing in spiritual knowledge. Laghvashi, this is another horribly misunderstood thing. Eat a little does not mean that you go on a crash diet. What it means is, each one of us has certain needs. You know, your appetite varies. You're comfortable with a certain intake. But we exceed that because of indulgence. So you say, oh, I like the puris today, so I ate more. Tomorrow you say, oh, tomorrow onwards I'll control myself. But tomorrow there's something else that's nice. And day after there's something else that's nice. So you're always overindulging. Now this overindulgence is not only in food, in every aspect of life. And we've seen earlier that excessive indulgence in sense contact derails your personality. So eating a little means supervising your intake of worldly stimuli. Then controlled speech, body and mind. Everything you do must be under intellectual supervision. Otherwise, you say things that you regret later. Your mind entertains negativities that they all come together and destroy you. And your intellectual prejudices and biases prevent you from leading a wholesome, healthy life. So therefore, use your intellect in watching what your speech is, what is the quality of the emotions that you entertain, what kind of intellectual prejudices are you hanging on to. And then you find freedom. Freedom from your own mind, freedom from your own senses. When you do all of this, You reach a state of open-eyed meditation. What open-eyed meditation is? You are interacting with the world, you're contacting the world, but one aspect of your mind is anchored in the thought of the higher. This can happen only when you do daily study and reflection. It doesn't happen automatically. A state of open-eyed meditation. What a beautiful thing it is. If in the morning you study and you pick up just one idea that inspires you and think over it the whole day. You might face challenges, you might face problems in life, but you're able to sail through it all because that one thought is anchored in the higher. And then you reach the state of vairagyam, dispassion. Dispassion for the world comes only when you have an intense passion for the higher. Once you develop the higher interests, your attitude towards the worldly objects is exactly like that of an adult who enters a department store, huge store full of toys. You know, in Western countries they have this Toys R Us. Have you seen that? Even here, I guess. A whole shop full of toys. If as an adult you have no children, no grandchildren, nothing, and somebody takes you into a toy shop, what will your interest be in the toys? You'll be, nowadays they have, I saw one robotic thing, fantastic thing, that little thing was doing all kinds of things. So you're amused by it, you're entertained by it, but do you have a desire for it? No. And that is how you view the entire world. This is vairagya, dispassion. You're interested, you're curious. All of this happens, but within you, your needle remains at zero. It just doesn't budge. This is vairagyam, taking refuge in vairagya. Then nothing in the world affects you. Like Kalidasa said, tatakkim, so what? The greatest of fortunes come to you. Tatakkim, so what? Everybody is denouncing you. Tatakkim, so what? That's part of life. Next one.